If you're a guard and you aspire to play college basketball, there are 3 shots you got to be able to hit in your sleep. Do you have any idea what the 3 shots are? Watch closely for the answer. The first shot you have to be able to hit as a college guard is a catch and shoot 3. Catch and shoot 3, that's 3 things: on balance, in rhythm, and in your range. Here's how catch and shoot 3s are created at the college level. Sometimes they're created by the person who's rolling. So the big will roll into space, the defense needs to collapse, so they're going to throw a pass out to you as the shooter. The guard's got to be ready though, because sometimes the bigs don't throw the greatest of passes. Catch and shoots are also created off of the gravity of the roller. So notice here, as the roller rolls into space, the corner's defender leans in slightly. That creates open catch and shoot 3s. So this shooter's got to be able to catch and shoot quickly. And the other way that catch and shoot 3s are created are off of one more passes, or some teams call them good to greats. Now, a habit you need to have as a catch and shoot shooter is dipping the basketball. Dipping the basketball is something that all great shooters do, and the dip does 2 things. One, it gives the shooter power to shoot the ball from farther away, but then number 2, the dip creates a rhythm. So even if you shoot a quick shot in the corner like Khan does right here, the ability to dip this ball ever so slightly just gives him the rhythm to get it off quickly. The second shot you got to be able to knock down as a college guard are shots off the move. So if level 1 is shots off the catch, level 2 is shots off the move. And we're going to show you for movement, either shooting off of an action or shooting off of movement yourself. Let's start with actions first. And here are some of the most common actions that are ran for guards in the college game. First one's a split action. Ball goes to the mid post, and the shooter's going to run off this wide pin for a catch and shoot 3. Got to be able to hit these as a college guard. Second common action is a double away, where you have 2 screens for a shooter who runs laterally off of these hunting catch and shoot 3s. Point guards will be ran off of these doubles a ton, and the reason you need to knock it down is if you notice, the second screener here is a big, and the big's defender is going to create a lot of space. He's going to be in a drop and try to protect the paint. And so as you come off this second of the double, you have to be able to hit this, especially if your shooter gets clipped by your big, because now you have a huge advantage situation that you need to take full advantage of. Bang. Third type of shot comes off of this action. It's called floppy. And this one, as Khan comes off, he has really good screen awareness where he reads the defender running over the top of the screen, and he's able to change his direction, plant off his left foot, and catch and shoot with all this space. Then the fourth most common action ran for shooters is what almost every college team runs now. It's called the zoom action. Zoom action is the second side action. It's a pin down into a DHO. So the shooter gets free from this pin. It's a little bit of space. On the handoff, the big drops, and you got to be able to catch this off a handoff and shoot it in rhythm. Now, here's where most players fail when they get to the college level, because they don't have very good spatial awareness. It sounds simple, but a lot of players, even at the college level, mess this up. So with level 2 shooting or shooting off the move, you need to read your teammates moving in space and then attacking that open area. The best players operate on space the most efficiently. And so, for example, this seems simple here, but as this player cuts for Kentucky, the shooter Kobe Bryant does 2 things really well. First, you'll notice he moves as that player cuts to fill that open space. But then 2, he notices his defender is going to have to tag on that cut ever so slightly. And on that tag, now he's wide open with his movement for a catch and shoot 3. Another part of movement shooting is moving on penetration. So here, as Cooper Flagg is going to attack to his right, you can already see Khan's defenders lunging to give help on the drive. If Khan stays in this same spot on the drive, it's going to be easy for that guard to potentially stunt and then recover. Notice he moves on penetration. Now there's all this extra room. A key rule for a shooter is do not be in the same place at the beginning of penetration as you are at the end of penetration. The next part of movement shooting, or level 2 shooting, is what's called respacing. So here, as Xavion Lee attacks downhill, and if you run this back, he does a great job of attacking the baseline, using a great in-out, and getting a paint touch. But the moment he kicks the ball to the person at the top of the key, if he just stays in this space right here, well, this is really bad spacing, and bad spacing is bad offense is bad spacing. So he immediately respaces to this open area in the corner and gets an open 3 because of it. The level 2 shooting, or movement shooting, is moving on penetration, respacing on drives, and moving off of actions. Let's take a look at level 3. So level 3 is the most difficult for sure, but it's shooting out of the pick and roll. And again, as a guard in college, you're always going to operate out of pick and roll. The first rule, though, before we get to the actual shooting part, is this. It's make your guard go over in any pick and roll or DHO situation. Once the guard goes over this two-man action, you have a huge advantage against the drop defender. We will talk about what to do when the defense goes under and how to shoot the ball in that situation. But more than anything, once that defender goes over as a guard, your angles become so much greater attacking the bucket. Anything you can do, whether it's a pick and roll, a DHO, or some sort of touch action, but anything you can do once you get the basketball to make the person guarding you now irrelevant by going over the screen, now you have a straight line drive to the rim. You can put pressure on the rim a lot easier. Just think of it like a turnstile. If they have to go over that turnstile or over that screener, now you can straight line. If the guards do go under or get caught going under and hit by your screen, you have to be able to shoot the ball if you want to play at this level. If you cannot shoot and punish the defense for going under, you can't create advantages or high volume 3 situations. So a lot of coaches call this playing the cat and mouse game, which means getting the guard to go under the pick and roll and then punishing them for going under the pick and roll. So if the first shot you must hit is a catch and shoot 3, the second shot is a movement shot. Number 3, and this is the toughest one, but you have to have it in your bag, is shooting the ball if the defense goes under in a pick and roll. Again, offensively, you want them to go over so you can attack downhill, but if they're trying to punish you by going under, you need to make them pay. On a side note, I think there's a reason why there are more European guards in the NBA and college game than ever before. And there are more European guards that score out of the pick and roll more efficiently. It's because they're pros. I've been doing this pick and roll reads from a very young age. The reads are more realistic against live defenders, and they now know what to do when the defense goes under, defense goes over, defense ices the pick and roll, they blitz, they hit hard hedge, or they switch. They have more tools in their kit, and they're more readily available to attack the coverages because of it. So let's take a moment and understand coverages and how to create these threes. So the defender for Western Kentucky is in a deep drop. He's on the SEC logo. So if Kobe is able to get the defender below the level of the screen, he uses a really good jab here. And just this subtle jab gets the defense to shift. Now going to his left, he's got all this room. There's no defense at the level. He's got a wide open 3. So if we as the guard are able to get them to go under the screen and they get clipped, we make them pay with what we call a PGC, a make them pay skill. And the make them pay skill is to hit the 3 when they go under. So if they go over the screen, that's how we get into our 5-on-4 and get the defense in rotations. But again, if they go under the screen, that's when we look to shoot as point guards. And again, you've seen a couple examples of jabbing, but using a jab to either freeze the defense or to make them go under the screen is a really good way to create just a little bit of space so you can shoot it. Finally, if you're playing the cat and mouse game and trying to get the defense to go under, the best footwork after baiting them is one of 2 things. One is the step back. Again, years ago, the step back was a shot that was unheard of for players at the college level. Now it's something you have to have. The moment they go under, the step back allows you to regain your balance, but then it also allows you to create separation. So number 1 is being able to step back off of the under. And number 2 is the hezzy. Like the step back, it allows you to create separation and it allows you to get your base under you. So if the defense is going under and you're not going to use the step back, hezzy is a good way to get your base, let the ball fire with rhythm. Those are the 3 shots you have to be able to hit if you want to play college basketball as a guard. An on-balance catch and shoot 3, a shot off of movement, and then finally a shot hitting the under in pick and roll. Which of these shots do you have in your game right now? Which ones are you currently working on? Let us know in the comments below.